This just in, Elias Pettersson is not re-signing with the Vancouver Canucks yet. More on that next here on Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, Canucks writer and credentialed media member for Daily Hive Vancouver. And before we dive into this bonus episode of Locked On Canucks, I got to thank you for making Locked On Canucks your first listen every day. It's your team every day. Go make sure you subscribe or follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, Kyle, always good to see you, brother. How you doing? And are you concerned about Elias Pettersson saying that he's not going to re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks?
I'm not too concerned because I listened to the clip for the second time,
And further details of this continuing story.
One more bit of business. Extension. You're eligible to sign.
Yeah.
Where do things stand?
Yeah, I'm not in a rush to sign. I got one more year left over there, and I don't want to rush into anything because I still don't know myself if it's going to be a short term or long term, but it's going to be probably my biggest contract so far, so I don't want to stress anything.
Just going to get off to a good start, focus on that?
Yeah, that's been the main goal. I mean, the whole summer I'm just trying to prepare myself as much as possible with training, trying to gain a little bit of weight, some muscles, and yeah, especially get off to a good start with the team.
You know how that thing happens when you get introduced to a song and you're like, oh, I don't know about this. Like a friend's like, yo, you should listen to this. This song's so sick, bro. You got to listen to it. And you listen to it and it's not that good, but you listen to it the second time and then you really get it and then you understand it. I did that with the Pettersson clip with Elliotte Friedman on the bus or on the train, I'm sorry. And it sounds a lot different than it did the first time. He's staying. We just don't know for how long. And one thing we do surely know is that that deal is not being signed this offseason. Could happen at the end of the season. Could happen in December. Maybe a holiday deal. Who knows? Anyways, Locked On Canucks, Kyle Bowen, Trevor Beggs. I know we said we weren't coming with an episode on the Wednesday, but we got to do this for the people, and we got to do it quick, Beggsy, okay? Now let's get out of here in like 10 minutes. You know why? Because, man, oh, man, I can't handle too much of this type of conversation on this Wednesday morning. Speaking of which, got to do it, okay? Because well, what time is it right now? 10:30? I think I just lied to the people. I tried being optimistic. I'm a little stressed out, not going to lie to you.
Holy, this is that morning beer. I'll be in vacation mode in a couple of days, and then maybe I'll join you.
What is this? Stanley Park. Trevor Beggs picked this beer. What's it called again?
The Hazy Pale Ale from Stanley Park. Great beer.
Okay, go.
In terms of Pettersson, look, it's interesting to hear the comments this morning from his conversation with Elliotte Friedman. I can't say I'm surprised, man. I mean, I've been telling the people on Locked On Canucks every day, shout out to you guys, but I've said that I would have been shocked if Pettersson signed an extension this offseason. It just with the cap going up, with some other big name UFAs still out there, to me, I just didn't really see a world where Pettersson was going to resign with the Canucks. And we know what this guy wants to win, and people are talking about him, taking a discount to stay in Vancouver. It's like, why? This organization hasn't proven anything to him. So I think there's a lot of reasons why he should be, why he would want to wait, right? I think he's confident in himself that he's going to have a great season, and he's also probably not very confident in terms of the direction of this team. And I think those two things together, make it seem like, yeah, this isn't going to happen anytime soon. And I think Pettersson confirmed as much this morning.
And yeah, I like how you noted to so many points of the obvious, right? Winning matters, and winning is going to matter in order for this deal to get done. I think the only way it was going to get done this offseason if the other thing happened, which is something that could still very much happen, and that's handing him the blank check. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy who wants to win and win badly, and also is one of the top 10 players in hockey when he's on, he knows that check will always be blank, thus making winning, again, always so important to him. And I think we've been saying this all summer long. We want the Canucks to bring meaningful hockey back to Vancouver ASAP. ASAP. October, November has to feel real. We can't be out of it. We can't be dreaming. We just got to be in it. Where again, every game matters. And I think there was a chance for if that were to happen, Pettersson would sign again around December. I've been kind of saying that too. But after this quote and all the jazz, I think there might be a good chance that he's extremely patient and does wait till the very end. And I think that will leave more room for more clarity on the salary cap situation, not only for the Canucks, but for the NHL league wide. And for a guy who, let's face it, I mean, I know he's been paid a lot in this short NHL career, a lot. He already signed a bridge deal when he didn't deserve it. Like he should have got paid years ago and years ago. So this is not that surprising that he's going to wait till the very end. And I'm not going to say like squeeze it out to be arrogant or to be, only thinking about the money, but it just seems like the right thing to do. I think I would do the same thing if I was Pettersson playing for the Vancouver Canucks. I do all of this. Wait till the very end. Wait till you know everything. The check is always going to be blank. And I want to know, is this team actually going to be a good hockey team? It matters.
Yeah, and this is could go down a rabbit hole, but I wonder if there's a world where, Pettersson, let's say Pettersson has a great season next year. He has 110 points, but the Canucks still suck and they're still a bottom 10 team. It's like if the season ends up being that much of a failure and Pettersson walks, or let's say it was back to that scenario we talked about last week where maybe someone offshoots Pettersson, Canucks get like 4 first-round picks. Like if the team still sucks with Pettersson, playing at a really high level, like is it time to start over, right? That's a dark place to go, man. That's a dark place to go.
That is a dark place to go. Okay, can I talk about the obvious though? Because I think the obvious, again, we listened to the quote twice. Well, I did. I'll put the edit in as well. He did mention how he doesn't really he doesn't know where the contract's going to go, and there's still a lot to, there's a lot of wait and see here. But he did mention he doesn't know if it's going to be a short term or a long term thing, and that's the other answer that he gave. Maybe he knows he's staying in Vancouver, but he doesn't know if it's like an 8-year thing or a 4-year thing or a 5-year thing. And that's cool too. That's really cool. It is what it is. I think the dreamlike scenario for fans and for the organization is to get the 8-year deal done ASAP. But it's not surprising. I mean, it's something he's allowed to do if he wants to go the shorter term to, strike gold, win the lottery twice. And it's also not surprising because, again, Jim Benning chose Virtanen and company over doing the right thing, and that's getting business done with Pettersson first and doing it the right way and respecting him. So again, I'm not that surprised. But I'll say it for the third time. The blank check, something that we thought the Canucks could use as leverage to get this deal done sooner, it's always going to be available to one of the best players in the league. And if he has to go improve it and he wants to go bank on himself, that's a good thing if we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks winning next season, like winning some games, like even more motivated Pettersson. You know what I'm saying?
Motivated Pettersson is a good thing. And not only should Pettersson be motivated to go make some money, but the guy's a fashion icon. And Colin, speaking of fashion icons, you and I are also fashion icons because we're rocking the Birddogs, okay? So even though we're getting older, grumpier, crustier, we got those Birddog shorts that came in the mail. Shout out to Birddogs supporting the Locked On Canucks podcast here. And you know what, man? Like I got the track pants now. I got the white Birddogs hat. And I'm telling you, man, my wife, she just does not let me leave the house. I walk around. I think I'm like 15 years old. I think I'm the hottest thing out there. Rocking the 2-pack, the track pants. It's a dangerous time in the Beggs household, buddy. But hey, you could also be living a dangerous life if you get your Birddogs on, okay? So make sure you go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat. You won't want to take your Birddogs off. We promise ya.
People, before we get back to the show, baby, I gotta tell you that new episodes of Locked On Canucks will be available wherever you stream podcasts and on YouTube at 4:20 p.m. for no reason at all, okay? New episodes every day at 4:20 p.m. Again, wherever you stream podcasts and on YouTube. Let's get back to the show. Okay, you're back on Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every day. Even when we say it's not supposed to be every day, there's always something happening, or we're just always overreacting. We're emotional, man. It's just the truth. Dude, so we kind of talked about this yesterday, okay? You know how I said I had to somehow get out of seeing my girlfriend perform on Friday to go participate in a fantasy football draft? Yeah, I pulled out all the moves last night, got her the flowers, did my thing. Didn't really like clarify with her yet because you gotta take it slow. Gotta take it slow. But we're getting there. That being said, this morning, she hits me up with a message, okay? Normally I don't do this, but we gotta do this here because we're addicted, okay? For real. Look at this message. You busy? No call this morning, love. That's what she told me in the morning. And look what I said. Buddy, I'm a hockey podcaster, okay? Sometimes duty calls. And look what she said. She said, chase the bag. Chase the bag. So I think all in all, I somehow got my answer. I do think she's going to let me draft my team and miss her performance on that note. She's busy, man. She got a lot of shows over the next month. There's other shows. I'm not a bad guy. I just got to do what I got to do. And Pettersson's got to do what he's got to do too. It's just the truth. He's a smart guy, though. He is. He's a competitive guy. If the Canucks do well this year, which should be the standard, they're capped out. It's been a while. They got good players. If they do well next season, maybe, just maybe, things will be different than it was for Tkachuk and Dubois, right? Because if they do well, Pettersson will realize, okay, I can get the same amount of money here. I know it's expensive as hell here, but money's not everything, okay? It's a beautiful city. This is the nicest place in the world, A. And then B, you got Quinn Hughes. C, you got Thatcher Demko. Again, if they do well, it's still very, very appealing to sign in Vancouver, short-term or long-term. I'm still confident they're going to sign him. I'm a little all over the place. It's a little scary how it's going to have to be more of a wait and see thing now. It's always going to be the thing for the whole season, but it is what it is. It's never going to be easy, you know. We've burned the city down twice. Okay, it's never going to be easy. Let's just prove that this concept is going to work and hockey can be really, 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 really something meaningful first, and everything will work out.
Yeah, I think the fact that you bring up Tkachuk and Dubois is interesting, right? Like, I think with both of those players, they were in markets they didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
Now, I think Pettersson wants to win, but I also think he loves the market, right? And we're blessed, Kyle. We're pretty lucky that we're covering this team. We're living in and around Vancouver. It's an amazing city, man. And I do think it's a bit different from Tkachuk being in Calgary because when he left Calgary, like they were one of the best teams in the league. They just had a I think they won the West that year, the year that Tkachuk left. Anyways, they were a really good team.
Didn't they? Didn't they win a
Yeah,
round as well?
I believe they won a round because
and they played Edmonton and they lost
to the Oilers. Yeah. So obviously Tkachuk, with Calgary came off a really good season and still wanted to go. I think Dubois, Columbus and Winnipeg are probably, no offense to Columbus and Winnipeg, two of the least desirable cities to play in. So it's just different with Pettersson. I see why you bring them up. Young guys with kind of forcing their way out of situations. I don't really think that's going to be the case with Pettersson. Unless the Canucks absolutely stink next year, and let's not put that in the atmosphere because it's not going to happen. Okay, hockey's got to matter here.
That's the other end of the spectrum, though. We're not going to talk about it too much, but if the Canucks ultimately really stink again, then it's open season for everything. And even though it's unfortunate, and we've said it for a while, if the Canucks lose Pettersson, it's going to take decades to get a player like him back. It just unless you get super lucky, and one thing Vancouver doesn't get is super lucky. So it's going to be devastating. But if they do suck, it has to be open season with everything Vancouver Canucks because change. Again, it's scary, I know. But it also, it just, that quote, man, it always happens, right? It is what it is. I know I've said that a lot on today's episode. But that's how you got to live with life, man, especially if you're a Canuck fan, or else you're going to let it get the best of you, right? I don't want to drink too many 10:30 beers, man, just because there's Canuck.
All right. Memo to Pettersson. Please sign soon so Kyle can stop drinking at 10 in the morning.
No.
It needs to happen, man. It needs to happen.
It's the summer, man. It's the summer, bro. Okay, Trevor, before we go, I think we got to relate it to you somehow, some way, because I think there's a way. You're a family man. You're a smart guy. You're a wise guy. You're a hard worker. This is a really, really expensive place to live. You know, people, when we talk about professional athletes, it's like, oh, why would Pedersen want to get taxed so much? And, he's really not making all that money. He could go somewhere else and live tax free and actually make 13 million a year, blah, blah, blah. Same goes to you. Same goes to you. And you stick around here. It's hard out here. So Vancouver is that appealing, right? It's not those other cities. And if your job is fun, aka, your franchise is winning and business is booming and y'all are doing a good job, maybe you're not getting paid as much because of those expensive things in the city and the taxes, but it's worth it, right?
Great question, Kyle, but unfortunately Trevor Beggs had to get back to the day job or else he would never bring home bacon again. He'll answer this on Friday. Anyways, that was another episode of Locked On Canucks. Subscribe and hit the like button and leave a review on your podcatching platform, and remember, we are all Locked On Canucks. We are all Canucks. Have a great day and don't worry about a thing. Every little thing will be all right.